Okay, so it seems fitting to sit in this area right here, the podcast area. So I'm just gonna come straight out and say it.
Get wild if you're not in the mood right now, honey, don't kill my vibe.
Hello there, vlog. You have to cut some of this out because I don't know what to say at a minute. I've got a lot to say, but I'm gonna present this information to you yet. Off the bat, did you see yesterday's video? Particularly that last bit where we made that little skit that's gone out across all our social media as part of the agency co backing the bid to get Great British Railways HQ to Doncaster. Did you like it? Everyone I spoke to liked it, thought it was funny. And if you don't know what I'm about, well, find it, watch it. You know where to go. Everywhere. So, yesterday, you'll have seen I started the vlog at Monk Bretton Priory, taking some photos of one of the couples I've worked with on like the wedding side of things. And I've gone through some of the photos today actually, so I will show you a couple so you can see what I've done, and I'll give you a little bit of backstory if there's much backstory to give. Here's one of my favourite ones. This is their wedding rings. So both of them, they're stacked on one on top of the other, and how well you can see that. There we go. So yeah, one's stacked to the other, so you can see them both. Obviously with the lenses it gives quite a blurred background. So that was shot using the 18 to 35mm lens, which is this thing. This is a Sigma 18 to 35mm. It goes f1.8. Anyone in the photography world, f1.8, you'll know what that means, that I'm going to be able to get big blurry backgrounds like you get in that one. If you're not familiar with the terminology of what the f-stop means, your f-stop is what effectively is your depth of field. So the lower that number, the blurrier the background is, and the higher the number, the more stuff that is in focus. So this photo, this is shot with a higher f-stop. So obviously if I was using it at a lower f-stop, like f1.8 for example, it's going to blur out too much, and that'll lose the details of the second person on the right. So in that photo you can see, I can't remember what the f-stop was off the top of my head, but there I'm going to guess it was around 3.5 or 4. That allows for it to still have a little bit of blur, so it's a little bit softer. The focus is definitely on the person that was nearer, but it does drop off a bit as it goes around the corner. So that one, where they're stood, because they're around the corner from each other, they can't actually quite see each other, but obviously where I am, I can see everything. You'll notice as well that what I've left in, a lot of people wouldn't do this, so I think this is something you play with if you're going to get into photography, you are a photographer. You see how this side of the wall here is a bit of foregrounding. So there's a bit of foreground there, just gives a bit of depth to the picture. If that wasn't there, obviously you still get quite a nice photo. But with that there, I think it just adds a little bit more, and that's more my sort of style. I like to make sure you're not in people's faces so much, although this is obviously very much in someone's face. I'm obviously a bit more off camera to be able to get that in, so it makes it a bit easier for people that don't like being on camera so much, and it gives you a much more natural photo. And I'm all about more natural photos. I think in total there's about 50 photos been delivered to them this morning. I did a lot of them last night, to be fair. But today, what are we on with today? So you may remember a few weeks ago when we was over at Hatfield Aqua Park. I am now today going through some of this footage. Let me just turn off the audio and I will show you a clip of some of the stuff that I am currently looking at. You've seen a lot of the drone footage already. This is what it looks like before we actually start clipping any of it together. If you're interested, so this is what we look like in Premiere Pro, watching some of this footage back. And as you can see, a lot of the juddery movements is when we're getting ready to film some of the clips. So you just see the nice finished project. Yeah. So with that, the drones obviously are quite wide, so that's capturing a lot of the details of what's going on. So there you go, that's the shot you want. Look at that. Nice big swooping pan there. So I'm looking through some of that today, and I can also give you a little sneaky peek of this. Okay, so this is the GoPro footage from when we was at the Aqua Park. So we strapped a GoPro on somebody who works there, and they basically dashed around for 20 minutes or so. So as you can see, they've jumped into the water. The GoPro works on the water, so you get some cool shots there. I'll give it a second so you can see them climbing back out again. But this is the sort of footage we're getting from the GoPro. Along with that drone footage, we had the camera footage that you'll have seen in the other vlog where David's cruising around on the speedboat, filming from there, like there's some cool footage of this place. I mean, just look at it. How can you not make that place look cool? So I mean, I hope we've learned a lot so far. I'm falling over into Abby's desk. I'm very excited about standing up. And I'll tell you why I'm excited about standing up. Is because it is 10 to 12. This standing up signifies going down to get some dinner. And you probably noticed as well that it's a lot of me so far, because this chair's empty. Where's Abby? And this chair over here is also empty. Where's he gone? We'll reconvene with these people after some food. Right. When I last spoke to you, no one was here. So, what are you doing?
Rustic.
Brilliant. What about you?
Rustic.
I'm also doing rustic.
I wish we were all eating rustic.
So, if you're wondering what this whole rustic thing is, it's rustic pizza. So yeah, rustic pizza, rustic burger. Obviously, we do all the photos for them. We also run their social media accounts. If you're interested in seeing what that looks like. Oh, I'll show you what it looks like. I'll show you what it looks like.
I just want it so much.
So obviously you're fully aware that Abby runs the content for the agency co. She's also having to go at Rustic's content now as well. She's making reels. She's making reels for Instagram for Rustic as well. And guess what service we're going to be offering soon, sooner rather than later as well actually, is social media management. And we're starting to work on the packages, what's involved. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, drop us a message. You might be able to be an early adopter on some of these packages.
Who wants more tutorials from that Rob? Nobody? Okay then.
Too busy doing some work to think about my answer to that question. And yeah, I mean, I'm happy to do some tutorials if you want some. You want some? I'll give it to you.
Okay, so it seems fitting to sit in this area right here. The podcast area. So I'm just going to come straight out and say it. I'm not going to go around the houses for 10 hours. I already have by saying that extra bit, and now this extra bit. I sound like Rob. The podcast is on pause just for a little bit. Don't worry, it's not going away. We still do podcasts. If you want us to come and record and produce your podcast, we still do all of that. But our actual weekly podcast, we're putting on pause for a little bit because there's a few changes that we're making behind the scenes in terms of more services. Obviously, Abby's just joined, so the dynamics of the business are changing slightly to be able to offer different things and more things. And while we work all that out, we could do with the extra hours that it takes us per week to film, record, come up with the ideas, edit and produce the podcast. We could do with those hours to put into some other things that are going to bring us more money in. So that's basically why. So we're putting it on pause just for now, but don't worry, the daily vlog is here to stay forever. I'd rather not earn more money than stop the daily vlog. Would I? Anyway, I'll leave it to a makeupless Abby to tell you.
To tell about what?
End of vlog.
End of vlog.
I'm gonna party until I drop. When I begin, I don't know how to stop. I can party on till the morning comes, till the sun goes up. We don't stop, no.